Hi everyone, how you doing? Here we are on Friday evening. I've just done a live hit on Sky Sports News, which could potentially be the last ever live from the car park here at St James's Park that I will do, should I say, before Newcastle become trophy winners. How long have I worked here? 11 and a half years covering the club. I've probably done thousands of live hits up here in the car park. Of course, remember we broke the takeover news up here back in October 2021. Just along there actually it was, further along. And I'm up here all the time. I call this my office, and I just did a live there at 6 o'clock and it felt a little bit poignant. I thought, wow, this could be it, this could be the last one. Newcastle could return home with the trophy on Sunday, and this could be the last ever live hit from St James's Park for a trophyless Newcastle United. So yeah, funny feeling that, I have to say. Anyway, I'm going to post this video in the morning, so by the time you're watching this it's going to be Saturday. Have a look at my video earlier on today just to get my general thoughts on the final and how I feel like that Newcastle's chances are growing. I think I said in the video earlier that, you know, this time last week I would have said 90%, I was sort of 90-10 towards Liverpool. I would say I'm now 65-35. I think a few things have gone in Newcastle's favour. Liverpool losing and getting knocked out of the Champions League, and then Trent Alexander-Arnold's injury. And I just feel, I don't know, there's something in the air, and I just, even just the opportunity of Newcastle winning on Sunday and not being able to celebrate is very, very Newcastle United. Very Newcastle United. So I could see that happening on Sunday with the players heading off on international duty, or the other players off to Dubai and not able to celebrate as a team back here in Newcastle in front of you guys. It would be very fitting, wouldn't it? But look, I wanted to come on and do a video about the team for Sunday. Now, until this morning, until speaking to Eddie Howe this morning, I was fairly certain that I thought I knew the team he would pick. I thought he'd go a 4-3-3 as usual. I don't think he'll go a back five. I think if Botman was available, I think he would have gone a back five. But I think without Botman, I don't think you can bring Emil Kraft in there as part of a back five. I just think it would be a really negative choice to make. Nothing against Kraft, but I think with Botman in there, he's such a good player, defender, and he's so big, and you know, he brings so much to the team at both ends of the pitch at corners. I can see why he did that. I just don't think he does that with Kraft, because with Kraft you then get Fabian Schär stepping into midfield and it would leave just Kraft and Byrne at the back. I just don't think he'd be as comfortable doing that. I still think Kraft's sort of better as a right back. I don't think he'll do that, so I think he'll play a back four. I think Kieran Trippier will come in at right back, as everyone does. Big pitch for Trippier and he's getting on a little bit, but I just think his experience, his know-how, his demands and what he'll bring to the dressing room will really help the team. Actually, I think it's important he's playing. Actually, I think Lewis Hall's a huge loss at left back. I actually think Hall at left back is a bigger loss to the team than Gordon at left wing. I watched the game against West Ham on Monday, and the amount of times Livramento got down round the left hand side and then chopped back into his right because he's not got a left foot to cross. If that had been Hall, he would have just whipped it in first time and he would have created a chance or created havoc or created a goal. So yeah, I think Hall's a bigger loss, and the other reason I say that is Gordon playing wide left. I just feel there's options there, whether it's Harvey Barnes or Joe Linton or Joe Willock. I just feel there's other options there, whereas at left back the only other option is Matt Targett, who has not started the league game all season, so that won't happen. They will not put him up against Mo Salah. And the only other option is playing a right footer at left back in the shape of either Trippier or Tino Livramento. Now I think he'll go with Livramento. I think the reason for that is I think he's got the physical attributes, the legs, the pace to attempt to deal with Mo Salah. And what I will say about Mo Salah is, yeah, he's had a brilliant season, absolutely phenomenal season so far, but he's just, to me, it looks like he's gone off the ball a little bit the last couple of weeks. Missed a couple against PSG the other night, wasn't great against Newcastle 2 weeks ago, scored 2 against Southampton last weekend, but both penalties. You know, he's not really pulled up any trees in the last 3 or 4 games, and I think that's good for Newcastle. I think that's a positive. I just think Tino at left back has got that pace and defensive nous one-on-one to deal with it. What that then does is it doesn't give you the attacking verve that you would get from Lewis Hall. But look, there's other ways of getting at Liverpool, and you know, it's maybe not the worst thing that you've not got a full back bombing forward and leaving holes at the back. And you know, Tino will, I think, concentrate on defending and allow the other players to get forward. It might not be the worst thing if the back four just kind of not sitting deep, but just kind of sit in as a 4 and defend, and that might be a route to success for Newcastle, and keeping the door shut at the back and rather than giving Liverpool any come on. I think Newcastle will try and keep it tight, certainly for the first half, the first 60 minutes, and then try and pounce after that. That's the way I think they'll play the game. The big decision he's got to make, I think Livramento left back, Trippier right back. Sorry, I missed the goalkeeper. I'm certain Nick Pope starts some goals tomorrow. I know there's a lot of people thinking it's 50-50 between himself and Dubravka. Eddie Howe was asked a lot of questions post-match at West Ham as to what his thinking is behind that. For me, his thinking is that Nick Pope's is number one and Dubravka, and I always thought Nick Pope would come in and play in the final. Always thought that. Just thought it was a matter of time before he came back into the starting lineup, which is harsh on Dubravka, I have to say. But I just think Pope, although he's not so great with the ball at his feet, I just think his presence in goal, his experience. Look, Dubravka's experienced as well. I'm talking rubbish in terms of experience, but I just think Pope brings a presence. He's a big unit in there. And I just think he's been part of the start 11 for a long time. And I just think Eddie Howe rates him more than Dubravka. I think it's as simple as that. And Dubravka, look, had a really good spell there around about Christmas. But, you know, he began to concede a few goals, and you know, I think there was a reason to bring Pope back in. I didn't get a chance to finish this video last night. It was getting a bit dark, and I had to get home to put my little baby to bed, so I didn't have another 5 more minutes. So here we are, Leeds train station, 1:15, about to board the 1:15. Hopefully it doesn't go without me. Down to London for the final tomorrow. So we'll be in Covent Garden later doing a little bit of filming, and then obviously maybe 1 or 2 catch up with some of you guys, and then the match tomorrow. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I was just going through the rest of my team, and just while I can, because I'll probably get caught up and not a chance to do it later. I told you about the fullbacks, what I think it'll be. Livramento on the left and Trippier on the right. I'm 99.9% certain it'll be Nick Pope in goals. And then the other big decision Eddie has got to make is obviously wide left. Now, if you'd asked me this question 48 hours ago, I would have said I was fairly certain it would be Joe Linton wide left, with Willock in left midfield of the 3 and Joe Linton coming in to help. But just a combination of what Eddie Howe said yesterday regarding Harvey Barnes, and it surprised me, it really did. He was very strong on Barnes' qualities and how big an opportunity this is for him. Unless it's a double bluff for Eddie, it sounded very much like Harvey Barnes will come into, or will remain in the team from the game against West Ham on Monday. Now, I thought he was okay. His general play wasn't great, but look, he created the equaliser, the winner. And he also, if you look at that first half, he had 2 really good efforts in goal. And I think sometimes in a cup final, you need that. You need someone who, you know, might not bring a huge amount to the general play when you're defending a lot against Liverpool, but someone who can, you know, come up with a moment of magic, score a goal from nothing, cut in from the left and shoot. And Harvey Barnes has got that. He is a match winner. He scores a lot of goals. And he might be a good one to have in your team in a cup final occasion, because he can bring a magic moment out of nowhere. So given what Eddie said yesterday, and in addition to that, the fact Trent Alexander-Arnold is out, I think if Trent was playing, I think Newcastle would go Joe Linton wide left, and he would track back and match his forward runs and give Livramento a bit of support at left back. But I think with Alexander-Arnold being out, I think it will be, and having spoken to my colleague Vinny O'Connor, who covers Liverpool, he's fairly certain it'll be Kwanzaa at right back, potentially Endo, but he thinks it'll be Kwanzaa for his height and his power. And I think because of that, I think Newcastle would put Harvey Barnes up against them, because he's got the pace, he's got the trickery, he's more attacking, he can get at Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa struggled against both Isak and Gordon at St James's Park back in December, and I think that's why he'll probably go for Barnes tomorrow. But as I say, anyone who was willing to listen, I was telling them that I thought that it would be Joe Linton wide left, Willock in midfield. But I just think a combination of Alexander-Arnold being out, giving Newcastle the come on a little bit in terms of getting forward. It might be a missed opportunity if they play Joe Linton there. I think by putting Barnes there, it means they get at Liverpool. I think a combination of that and what Eddie Howe said yesterday when he was talking up Harvey Barnes made me think it will be Barnes that starts the game. And what an opportunity it is for him. He's hardly played this season. He's been very frustrated. His time just had to play on the right. For me, it doesn't look great on the right at all. Looks really uncomfortable. But on the left, he's very good. And cutting in off that left-hand side onto his right foot, onto Kwanzaa's left-hand side, could give Newcastle real options going forward tomorrow. And of course the other two will be Murphy wide right, and of course Isak through the middle. Now Isak said yesterday he enjoys playing against Liverpool because there's chances. He said Liverpool like to press, so too do we, and that gives me space in over the back to score and to have chances, and we've seen that. Of course, he scored in his debut against Liverpool. He scored an absolute worldie earlier in the season back in December, just about ripped the net off at St James's Park. And look, I think Newcastle will rely on him, and my sources are telling me that he's trained so well this week and looks absolutely razor sharp in training. So let's hope against West Ham on Monday it was just because they were playing against a team who's sitting and defend, and hopefully he'll look a lot better, a lot more in himself against the Liverpool team who of course like to attack themselves. Just let that train go by there. But yeah, so as you can see, the train about to depart behind should get into London around about 3:30, get checked into the hotel and join you guys for some cup final eve drinks and whatever. So looking forward to that. That is my team tomorrow, or that is a team I think he will play. I've got to say, I'm not entirely sure if I would play it myself. I'd maybe go Joe Linton wide left or Willock in midfield because I like his running style with the ball. But I think Eddie Howe will go a team of Pope and goals, Trippier, Schär, Burn, Livramento, and then Bruno, Tonali, Joe Linton, Murphy, Isak and Barnes. Now of course there's not many attacking options off the bench there, and Barnes would be a good attacking option off the bench. He doesn't have that, but still he's going to go, I think, with the strongest 11 to go and try and get an early foothold in the game. Give me your thoughts below, guys. Feel free to leave me your teams in the comments below. If you haven't done already, leave your subscribe and leave your comments below. Alright, cheers guys, better go run and get this train, this whistle's blowing. Take care, enjoy the final.